Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Cozy Club. I'm Cozy Gamer, and tonight is a special night because Zurg has returned to Disney Sorcerer's Arena for the beta players, and he has landed for the first time for the global players. Alright, so let's take an in-depth look at this crazy, powerful character, how to unlock him. Let's take a look at his abilities and which ones you should put your ability mats towards first. And lastly, let's take a look at his stats. Make sure you stick around to the end because we're going to go and rank every downtown villain, because I personally believe that there should be more use to them than just unlocking Zurg. Alright, let's jump right into it. First, let's look at how to unlock Zurg. You're going to unlock Zurg in the Queen's Clash event, and you're going to be fighting the card soldiers and the Queen of Hearts herself to take her down, and you're going to be getting these heart coins. Now, just a quick note, you're going to need your downtown villains to unlock Zurg. The more and more you go through the tiers, the more downtown villains you're going to need in your team. Until the end, you're going to have a full team of downtown villains. When you can use 4 downtown villains and just one other character, you can have Hades or Scar do some big damage in there. I used Hades and it cleared it pretty fast. Just a pro tip too, when you are fighting just the Queen of Hearts, whether it's on the last phase or the first phase, if you kill her first, she's going to go ahead and clear the entire way for you, and you don't have to waste your time killing the soldiers and then the Queen of Hearts. Just focus fire right on her as soon as you start. Now you're going to be unlocking these heart coins, and with these heart coins you're going to be able to go to the chest just like the other events, and you're going to use these coins to unlock shards of Zurg. Now the big controversy with this thing is that you're only getting about 2 or 3 shards per 10,000 coins that you're using. However, I did get lucky and I got 6 1-drop and 2 8-drops, so I was able to get Zurg a little bit faster. There is some amazing resources in Discord that I can link in the description below that tells you the most efficient way to unlock Zurg. It tells you how many gems you should use and how many refreshes you're going to need to do in order to unlock Zurg without spending mass amount of money. It is going to take money, so let's just get this out of the way. Zurg is currently a pay-to-play character. So in my experience in using Zurg, he's a pretty good character at 5 stars. I only have him at 5 stars myself, and he does okay. He doesn't do well in live PvP right now. He's a bit too squishy, but from what I've heard, whenever he gets to 7 stars, he's a lot better and should be able to take that damage a lot better. Now, even at 5 stars, you're dealing with one of the best characters in the game. In my last tier list video, he was an S tier character, and he's, if not the best, the second best offensive character currently in the game. Alright, let's start with his basic evil aim. So you're going to do about 800 damage up to 3 times, which is incredible for a basic. Also, you're going to have the chance to do up to 35% more bonus damage depending on the enemy's health that you're attacking. Now, Zurg Vision is great. It's one massive attack, and instead of doing bonus damage depending on how high the enemy health is, you're going to do more damage depending on how low your enemy health is. And on top of that, kind of like Shan Yu's special, you're going to be able to gain a bonus turn if you do successfully kill an enemy with this attack. It does almost 8,000 damage, and it's an incredible move. If Zurg Vision wasn't good enough, you have Rapid Ion Blaster. So with Rapid Ion Blaster, you're going to deal up to 376 damage up to 23 times. Yes, I said that correctly, 23. On top of that, you're going to have a 25% chance to chain that attack to another enemy, so you can possibly hit multiple enemies with this. This is why he's such a great offensive character, is this move. Just like Dash, when you start out the battle, if you can get this move off, you're probably going to be working with 1 to 2 less enemies at the start of the battle. Alright, first up is his first passive, Massive Ion Blast. And in short, when Zurg starts his turn, he's going to do massive damage to the enemy with the highest percent health left. And on top of that, all the other enemies are going to get hit also about 80% of that damage, which is just insane. This is every single time he starts his turn, he's going to do this. Thank God Zurg isn't the fastest person in the game, because this would be a problem. As for his second passive, Galactic Evil, every single time Zurg takes damage, he's going to have up to an 8% chance to gain offensive up. If you have a downtown's villain team with him, that chance is only going to go up. Alright, so listen, I know ability ruins are very scarce right now at the beginning of this game, so you want to be careful exactly what abilities you're upgrading. Now, I recommend doing the following. I would first max out Rapid Ion Blaster. You want to put all of your ability runes into this ability, as this is the main bread and butter of his entire kit. Next up, I would upgrade Zurg Vision, as that's an amazing ability as well, and it's a great finisher. Lastly, I would do his basic before his passives. Go ahead and max out that basic, because he's going to be doing a ton of damage with that. His passives are really good, but the upgrade that you get with them isn't good or warrant enough those ability runes that you want to use. In fact, me personally, I upgraded his 3 abilities, and then I went to some other characters. I haven't messed with his passives yet, but if you want to go ahead and just max them out, that's the order that I would recommend. Alright, so in Disney Sorcerer's Arena, a character is only as good as the stats that they have. A great example of this is Aladdin and Frozone. Aladdin and Frozone are a lot alike in their kits, however, Aladdin is so much faster than Frozone, allowing him to be a much better character. So looking at his offense first, he has 1,647 offense, which is currently tied 3rd for the most offense in the entire game. So right away, he already has an incredible amount of offense to build off the abilities that are amazing as well. Next up, we're going to look at speed. We talked about his speed not being crazy out of this world. He's tied for 11th currently on speed, which I think is a good place for him. If he had too much speed, he would just be the go-to master character, and he already is the go-to master character. Now looking at his defense, he's a little bit below average in defense, which you won't see a big difference in that when you are fighting in arena, because you're going to get his abilities out, and then over time he will be targeted pretty fast, just like Dash and the other S characters. They get targeted right away, so you're not going to really see a big difference with his defense being low or a little bit below average. Now his health is 14,401, and that's about the average that you're going to see in Disney Sorcerer's Arena. That's not that great of health, but it also isn't the worst health in the game. So he's not a complete glass cannon, but he is more in that average line. Now the reason Zurg is such a great character overall, besides the abilities, besides the great stats, is he's just a good plug and play character. You can throw him in just about with any squad, and he does the job that he's supposed to do: pump out massive amounts of damage. Alright, now to end this video today, I never like just getting all these characters to unlock some great character and then never using those characters again. The downtown villains are different than the usual characters. They have some use outside of just getting Zurg. Alright, let's go ahead and rank these downtown villains and see who else you should put your gear towards for both Conquest and other game modes. Alright, starting at the bottom, we're going to go with Pete. Pete is a decent tank, he has decent health. I would overall invest the least amount of gear and levels into Pete rather than the other downtown villains. Number 6, we have Jangles. Now Jangles, he has loads of health. He can do some debuffs even though it's kind of random, and near the end game he does fall off. However, in the early and mid game, Jangles is annoying to handle and isn't the worst investment you can make. Number 5 is Randall, and I wish Randall was a little bit better, but he is pretty good. He can stealth, he does some good damage. He can also remove turn meter, which is always helpful within the live PvP mode. Number 4 is going to be Syndrome. Now Syndrome has a great AoE. He has good basics. He can inflict vulnerable to do a lot of critical hits. His kit's built a lot around critical hits as well, the same theme that you see in the Incredibles. And lastly, he can do a stun, which is really useful in towers and other PvE game modes. Now for number 3, I know some of you are going to be hurt that he's not number 1 or 2, and that's going to be the Doctor. Now the Doctor is incredible, and in fact, probably one of my favorite kits within the game. He's incredible for PvE, he's the master and the king of the Tower of Endurance game mode, and really all PvE game modes for that matter. He's got a really cool interaction with Pete's Shadow that I posted in my Towers video if you want to go check that out. And he's also kind of the king of crowd control. He can polymorph, he throws out a lot of debuffs, and overall a really good character. However, I'm going to let you know, once you finish Tower 5, he kind of loses his viability a little bit, because currently there's not much more to do PvE after that. Number 2 is going to be Damana, and Damana I think is a sleeper as far as it goes with damage characters in this game. She can do some massive damage every time she starts her turn, as well as inflict a bunch of continuous damage. Her rocket ability can instantly trigger those continuous damages on the field, doing massive damage to your opponent. Number 1, you guessed it, other than Zurg, is going to be the big bad wolf. And let me tell you, this character can do crazy damage. His first special, the big huff and puff that he does, is a massive AoE, and every time I'm facing him, I try to get him down before he can get this off. If that's not good enough, his second special, a wolf in sheep's clothing, he does some self-healing and massive single target damage. He's overall just a really good unit and just good to throw in with just about any squad in this game. So there you have the top 7 downtown villains. I think there's other places to use them, and don't just have them to unlock Zurg put some gear into some of the higher ones. Damon is great. You can get her at the club exchange, and Big Bad Wolf is really good, and you can get him in the campaigns. So I suggest going after those two for sure. And the Doctor is incredible. If you haven't unlocked him yet, what are you doing? Go to the Grand Campaign and start using your energy towards him. All right, thank you so much for coming on over to the Cozy Club and getting comfortable with me. If you like what you saw today, go ahead and like and subscribe the video. Some other big news is I'm going to start Twitch streaming really soon here. So I'm excited to interact with the Cozy Club on a daily basis. Come feel free to drop by anytime. And until then, I'll see you next time right here at the Cozy Club.